Okay, so this is what I was telling. Okay, so you multiply and divide with 2. Okay, so after writing the convolution, okay, so what should I write here? I multiply and divide with 2, 0 to t, because I am seeing it as a trigonometric product with a, and this is b. Okay, so 2 cos a cos b, 2 cos a cos b is cos 2 cos a sin b. What is it?
Sine of
Sin of a plus
A
b.
plus B
Okay,
minus
sin
sine
of
of A minus B.
ax plus bt minus bx minus sin of ax minus
Ax
bt
minus
minus
BT
bx.
plus
Okay, then simplify and integrate the function, substitute the limits. Is it okay? So what is right approach I am telling? Whenever you have a trigonometric product, convert that into trigonometric sum. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
And here also see, this is not the right approach. Okay, yesterday I have demonstrated this problem by taking this expansion of, but what is the right approach I was telling? Multiply and divide with 2. Is it okay? So this is 2 cos a cos b. What is 2 cos a cos b?
Cos
0
A
to
minus B
t
A plus
cos a minus b
plus
cos,
cos A plus B.
cos A plus
or cos a plus b plus cos a minus b, right? So cos of
yes
ax plus at minus ax plus cos of ax minus at minus ax. Okay, and dx. So we have written this trigonometric product into sum, and this is what, it's a simplification. Ax minus ax gets cancelled, cos at plus minus of minus plus cos 2ax minus at
2A
dx. Is that okay? What is the
yes
integration
sir.
of cos at?
Sin 80 by A.
sin 80 by
Remember, you are integrating with respect to x,
Okay, constant.
so it acts like a constant. So what is the integration? X
It's
into
cos 80. Cos 80.
x into cos
cos
80 plus sine of 2ax minus 80 by, what is x coefficient? 2a,
2A.
with the limits from 0 to t. Is that okay? Now you substitute these limits and simplify, you will get the answer easily. Is that clear? So what I am
Yes, sir.
telling, you redo this problem. You redo this problem by using the correct approach. By using the correct approach. Don't try to expand this. Okay. Otherwise, sometimes it may lead to longer expressions. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes sir.
Shall I proceed?
yes
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay.
Yes sir.
Now, before going to problem sheet, let us recall all the properties one by one. Okay. Then we'll see the problems. What is the first property called? Linearity.
Linearity property.
So totally, remember, totally we are having 4 approaches to find out inverse transforms. What are the 4 approaches? By looking into standard table of inverse Laplace transform, table look method. Okay. Second one, partial fractions. Third one, property.
Properties.
Fourth one, convolution theorem. Okay.
Convolution.
So we have learned all these methods. Now we are ready to shoot out the problems, right? So first one is linearity property. L inverse of sum equal to sum of L inverse. Second one is first shifting property.
shifting property
Okay, whenever function of s minus a is there, replace s minus a with s. Find out its inverse transform. Multiply with the e power at. Whenever function of s plus a is there, replace s plus a with s. Find its inverse transform. Multiply with e power minus at. S plus a you have to multiply with e power minus at. S minus a you have to multiply with e power at. Okay. And for all these things, by default, L inverse of f of s is what? F of t. Okay. Now, what is second shifting theorem says? Whenever your function is multiplied with an exponential function with a, then multiply with h of t minus a. Multiply with h of t minus a to L inverse of f of s. What is L inverse of f of s? Function of t. Function of t. Replace that function of t with a t minus
T
a.
minus a.
So answer is going to be h of t minus a into f of t minus a.
T minus a.
Okay. Similarly, fourth problem, change of scale property. Whenever you have function of as, multiply with 1 by a and replace as with the s. That is function of t. Then replace t with the t by a. Then it is going to be function of t by a. Next one is multiplication by s property. Whenever s is multiplied with a function, take L inverse of f of s. What is L inverse of f of s? F of t.
F of t.
But make sure that f of 0 is 0 if you want to apply this property. If f of 0 equals 0, then only you start proceeding to apply this multiplication by s property. That f of t you differentiate with respect to t. That f of t you differentiate with respect to t. That is f dash of t. Is that okay? And if you want to apply generalized formula into s power n, you have to ensure that f of 0, f dash of 0, and so on, f power n minus 1, 0 are 0. All the derivatives up to n minus 1 should be 0 at 0. Then only you can apply generalized formula for multiplication by s property. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next one is division by s property. So f of s by s. Whenever your function is divided with s, find L inverse of numerator. What is L inverse of numerator? F. But in what what variable we want? We want in the variable x. Is it okay? Because you want to write down the final answer in terms of t. Because you want to write the final answer in terms of t, my integration limits are going to be from 0 to t. And here you have to take some dummy variable. Okay. So what division by s property says? Integral 0 to t. Integrand. What is integrand? Numerator. What is the generalized formula? If it is divided with s square, you will get a double integral.
Yes, sir.
If it is divided with s power n, you will get an n-tuple integrals. You will get an n-tuple integrals 1, 2, 3, and so on. So the n integrals are there. T, t, n. These are all dummy variables. Finally, outcome has to be in terms of t. Okay. So what is the next property? L inverse of derivative. L inverse of derivative. Okay. So when this formula is going to be applied, whenever you have L inverse of some transcendental function like log of s plus 1 by s plus 2, something like this. Whenever you have a transcendental function, I told you to take this as f of s, then apply f dash on both sides. Then you apply L inverse on both sides, I said. And once you have L inverse of f dash of s, then you can make use of this property. Right? N equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on. Right? Whenever you have a transcendental function, try to use this property. And last one is L inverse of integral. L inverse of integral is nothing but L inverse of integrand. L inverse of integral is L inverse of integrand divided with t. Okay, L inverse of integrand is nothing but f of t. Okay, so these are the 8 properties. Okay, I'm going to share these properties with the namings. I will be denoting those properties with Roman numerals, Roman number 1, Roman number 2, Roman number 3, like that. Okay, then okay, and apart from properties, what is the theorem that you have? Convolution theorem. What convolution theorem says? L inverse of f of s into
Z of s.
G of s.
equal to L inverse
L
of
inverse.
f of s convolution with the
L inverse
Inverse of G of s.
L inverse of g of s. Okay. Now we'll start discussing the problems. Okay. Now the question is find the inverse of inverse Laplace transform using convolution theorem. So in exams, the question may be asked like this: use convolution theorem to find out the inverse transform. So when you are asked to apply convolution theorem, necessarily you have to apply this theorem and evaluate the answer. You cannot evaluate the inverse transform by any other method. Okay, even if you get the answer, you may not get the marks because you are asked to apply convolution theorem. Okay, now you see 43rd problem. 43rd problem is a special case of 44th problem. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, now I discussed this problem, s by s square plus a square into s square plus b square just now. Do you remember? S by
Yes,
s
sir.
square plus a square into 1 by s square plus b square. I told you to write it as cos at convolution 1 by b sin bt.
Sin bt.
Okay, and here how do we write? S by s square plus a square into
S
s
by
by s square plus
S
b
by
square.
square plus b
And
square.
when you apply convolution theorem, it is going to be cos
Cos
at convolution cos
Cos
bt.
Cos bt.
And when you apply convolution formula, integration involves product of two trigonometric functions, cos two trigonometric functions, right? Again, use the right approach. What is the right approach? Write the trigonometric product into sum of the trigonometric functions. Okay. Similarly, here also, how do I write this? 1 by s square plus a square into 1 by s square plus b square. This is 1 by a sin at
t 1 by
convolution
b sin
1 by b sin
sin
bt.
bt.
Take this 1 by b 1 by a outside the convolution. You simply take the convolution of sin at and sin bt. Again, trigonometric product. Is that okay? Now, how do we do this problem? 1 by s into s square plus 4. I think I discussed this generalized problem. I can write it as 1 by s into 1 by s square plus 2 square. So when you apply convolution theorem, one convolution 1 by 2
1
sin
by
2t.
1 by 2 sin 2t.
Sin 2t. But this order is easy or the other order is easy?
other order, sir.
1 by 2 sin 2t convolution 1 is easy. Easy. Is that okay? So, and how do you do this problem? S by s square, s power 4 minus a power 4. I can write it as s square by s square minus a square
S square
into
minus a square
s square plus a square.
Let's say
Am I right? So this is s by s square minus a square into s by s square plus a
S
square.
square plus a square.
So after applying convolution theorem, this is going to be s by s square minus a square is cos h
cos
at,
h
Cos ht.
and s by s square plus a square is cos at.
Cos ht.
Now how do you write cos h at? E power at
E power
plus e power minus at by
minus 80 by 2.
multiplied with cos at, cos a into t minus x when you are applying convolution theorem 0 to t. Is that okay? Then multiply, then separate the integrals. These two are one integral, and this is one more integral. Separate the integrals and evaluate. Okay. So you can separate the integrals here because it is not a trigonometric product. It is a product of trigonometric function and a exponential function. Therefore, you have to separate the integrals and evaluate. Whereas here, this is a trigonometric product. Therefore, you have to write the product into sum. Is that clear?
yes, sir.
Similarly, this also I can write it as 1 by s into 1 by s square minus a square. I can write it as 1 by a sin h at convolution with 1. 1 by s inverse transform is 1. Is this clear?
Yes.
Shall I
Yes, sir.
proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So now you see all problems on based on convolution theorem is like this. Okay, you make sure that the given function, okay, given function, let us say some h of s. It's not s of s. Some, let us say some p of s. Okay, write into product of two functions f of s and g of s, such that you know inverse transform of these two functions, or else you know how to find out inverse transform of these two functions. Okay, you can write a function into product of two functions in several ways. Okay, but write in such a way that you know inverse transform of those two functions. Please make a note of this point.